no sia abo Ghana man adeshaman memo bibiara ajo zeba enwbre no sia ebusia kase akan kase bo wo big family radio kasa efrido embre no asuden sama hodo yensa kan na ya boabo ano no yaze ebosumu ende enwbre yeze fien main studio the blog no upper class school junction eho ena ensami ye kochira yedifiwo na majegu atsado a mazaro sumu ende enwbre na ejuma kubi adarum no obomechidom Center for Trade Big Family Multimedia Institute BFM Store Trustees Network Group and one obomechidom and there enwumbiri mamede kasiabwe mazerosomo the maran so and you streaming live on Facebook or BFM Network ABK TV Ghana away now you streaming live entibo modern na join him on Facebook na zoro kodu bia wo mangana hano wonso ete na enhubi ewo home ebusia za odim kasebon bi akotin ebinyene dem Ghana man pahin yero Yohani Dramani Mahama wapa Obura Johnson esiama de ono ene mprempen yeshima obaba ye amrado edimo man Ghana yeniska kwabia owo aha enti yede nchemu ebabro wo ensamfu from so no ende ena yewra minta akando watoto na no man Ghana mbehebe dwemu fie yede ho enchemu babro the maron so ena okujato ablakwa ono so ne anontoto no endo na okodo wo man Ghana mbehebe dwemu fie no so yeze babosomo ena afei oye yewra afanyo makin oze chopa akọ ama yewra okujato ablakwa onene ho keni no so yede nchemu mede brawa kaseboimu ensam no bi ne mekai ho ena ya bone bedawa mazebosomo day enwimbe no sia ebusia kase akan kasebo wo Big Family Radio efrido akin Kenya watamanka ende enwimbiri ezin amejedo aranyen Ejats Kobana the donor from Major Atakoko school time was occupied. Afe Jebre na memfa ensamano ninchemu na memfa ensomo. Yashan samana se kopwemu wo oman Ghana embreshe ebedwomufie yera Alban Bagbin somana Kingsford ono ene wakase na nensa morokani na ayene dem yashan man Ghana mesma yatu abawe intawantawa na azor kokodo na ontwe kra enti odem penifo etum watna se na wo hwe wodi mudwuma na wo bo anom na wonde de me etutuzi yakodo no wo hwe na wotume hwanu aboa na ni nyine tunatwa na odi asomdwe abento de impenifo kwa asetena na wo hwe na wodi hu edwuma.
Not just this house, I think the whole country has identified a very serious challenge and a threat to the survival of our democracy. A friend of mine, resident in the US, wrote to me and termed our democracy, Ghana's democracy, as lawless democracy. Now, when they say a democracy is lawless, it means it is not a democracy. It's a failed democracy. Well, democracy thrives on rule of law. Rule of law. That is where we have come to. And that is why you have this. The only organ of government that can provide a solution is Parliament. Because all the interest groups are represented here. The president cannot, because the president is seen as representing one class of people, political party. That is what is, you have to lead to find a solution. And so when you get the opportunity and you yourself get up and you are a mirror of what is happening, you encourage it. That is why we say we will manage this discussion so that we can take up the issue of the transitional blues. That's what is happening in our country now. Yes, we have very good, peaceful elections. After that, then everything goes haywire.
Ebusia ya tuado na Ghana eneda ena oye abejokofuyara wototo mpanyinfo bia no na mentemo wase na ntawanta obi man homodo ewo embrehye bedwomufie osetena ni a oye okanda me abejokunu yewra Bernard ahiaful ode achopa ehonsama ba ochemude osre opagana fo chopa papa one fenche wonza osi wo brehye bedwomufie endeda no na onyimde oyenyitu oyenyimgwase nta osewon pa kotodwogu foma ode achopa kwa magana fo.
On the happenings of yesterday.
Very well, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable members, last night, during our sitting, what started as a disagreement between members of the committee with regard to vetting some of His Excellency the President's ministerial nominees degenerated into a full-blown physical altercation between members of the committee, leading to the destruction of some furniture and microphones in the committee room and disruption of proceedings, causing the sitting to end abruptly. The damage to these items affected the functionality of the committee and has also tarnished the dignity of the institution and its members. Upon assessment of the extent of the damage, one microphone was damaged beyond repairs and has been replaced. Fortunately, this morning, proceedings will carry on without any technical hitch. It is essential that we assure a swift return to order and maintain the integrity of our parliamentary process. The action that unfolded last night to function effectively and responsibly. While forcefully, disagreement during plenary and disagree with colleagues is the honorable way to handle issues. I therefore call on all colleagues to keep in mind that the duties given to us put us in a privileged position to serve our country and be good example for those who would come after us. The people who put us here in Parliament expect us to act in a way that will unite us as a people, and it is incumbent on us to take this task seriously. Please, let's conduct ourselves in this manner.
Abusia na ya tuado abajokufu wonenyi mara nande yewra mita akando ono oyo swafo wa pound dem sempenfo gine tumoboshe ne apo muzan ensamdo okopo emu oman Ghana mbehye bejomufie no ena wo bisa nsam fan ambulance hu ensensemi oboto gwa na nse yade ena wo bisa na ochemdo oba obayeshemu afa ambulance hu ensemi ne ina ambulance maintenance wasisi kapuro dishemu no ye abrochi dollars no million eduation 77 million US dollars no also ba obayeshemu afa hu.
The spare parts of ambulance and the contract between the company which is supposed to maintain the ambulances in the Republic of Ghana. Per my briefing, these are the facts. Because, Mr. Chairman, if approved by the committee, I am determined to investigate that particular matter. So I can only give you the facts as I was briefed. Mr. Chairman, the facts are that, number one, that same company was given the opportunity to buy not less than 307 ambulances at the rate of 41 million US dollars. And Mr. Chairman, per my briefing, the contract I have seen, then the minister went ahead to sign a contract for the maintenance of the 307 ambulances at the rate of 77 million US dollars in 5 years. Mr. Chairman, don't forget that we all have cars. The deterioration of any car is not as much as the last 5 years, the first 5 years or 4 years, your machines may not be, deteriorated that much. And so these are the facts available to me, and I am going to institute investigation into the matter. Thank you.
Abusia na one tunu yewra minto akando sanso kasai minta akando sanso kasai no chemu dem urban ambulance wonsan sam no ne contract ahodo a urban apomudin wo na onya do ne de obado oba terminate obi no contract and oba bibi na mum dwuma hodo duzi no obohwe na wezi.
Let me ask you. First, on your CV, you've indicated you're a farmer. I know you to be a commercial farmer. Not many people. So I know you will be able to take the necessary questions with tact. There is often held perception that when new government assume office, people from all manner of places approach the new government, and it leads to termination of contracts, frustration of businesses. I have some businessmen who have sent me a message, and because you are a private sector man, they want to know what will be your attitude towards those who would come to you and say, terminate this, investigate this, do that. You mentioned the ambulance thing, for instance. The way you see it may not be how it is. All right? And as a businessman, what measures would you put in place to stop those hardliners who will come to you with that kind of attitude? Terminate, cancel, investigate, stop payment, don't pay, don't do this. What would be your attitude?
Please provide the answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we all know that the private sector is the engine of growth. I am not prepared to capriciously terminate any contract. Mr. Chairman, as and when there is a need to inquire into it, I will do so.
Enti yera mita kando no kase no we no en obi sende ya hwe usivi no do usivi no chede eye krayoni na cheda wo de ado we kwada ado infuda pa aye banada na ye pede ye hu dem it ba won sansan bokodo den ewo oman Ghana na okas na ochemu dem Ghana ye nyi jina yubia den hia no ye ba crazy ban efi ebia banada ye be fi ha ko ne sama okanyen.
Let me ask you. First, can you share with us what you have done so far in your business life?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I hold the humble view that as a country, we have absolutely no reason to import food into this country. We can feed ourselves. And have spoken about this issue severally. And therefore, I took the trouble upon myself to demonstrate it. And so I started with cocoa farming. Then I ventured into rice. Almost every household in this country consumes rice. Mr. Chairman, I start from planting through processing to distribution of rice. I started with not less than 150 acres of rice in the western north region. At the moment, this year, Mr. Chairman, I'm doing not less than 5,000 acres of rice in the Yagaba, So, Kobori, and EZC area in the northern part of the country. And Mr. Chairman, I am determined to even go beyond that. We have not less than 3 processing machines across the country. One in Western North, another one in the Somaya area, and then we're putting up another one 15 kilometers towards Yindi in Tamale to even bring in other equipment like the parboil machine to be able to get the right quality of rice to be produced locally for the benefit of the country. Thank you.
Na yantu ado wa abajoku ana embrese bedomu ne anotutu yademu yewra Samuel Okujato Ablakwa ono oyoswa former mpina abonizinde obohwene amanone enwonsamodo Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Minister ono ena wa abonizinde ombejinam no ndjamedwuma no na abra no sokopemu abajoku fu nenyim no ena wobi sa yewra Samuel Okujato Ablakwa ensansembi na Samuel kana ochem dem se ono ba ono no ndwuma obohwe binyine dem impanyinfo wo bokọ dwumedi bia se ebi wo kọ dwumedi bi ba wa ya abejan ebokọ abejan gbodo srada ekwa edwonsa pen de ba se de bi ono enkọ dwumedi bia se na enfonsa pen mba ede bibi be fi dwumedi no ase na zi aba efie.
A reform of the institution, the Foreign Service. I would like to introduce a department that will focus on delivery, the delivery unit. I want us to give clear KPIs to our ambassadors and our high commissioners. Now, where we are in the current global ecosystem, you can't be relying on aid, relying on loans, relying on other countries. Let's aggressively pursue economic diplomacy. When we send you there as an ambassador, it's not just to be attending events. You must bring us something home that will impact the lives of the people. How many investors are you bringing in? How many industries? FDI and all of that. So they will be giving clear KPIs. Because if you look at last year's budget, we spent more than 875 million Ghana cedis on our foreign service staff alone. That's almost $1 billion. And you ask yourself, these 71 missions out there, what are they bringing in? And that is why many people think foreign affairs is so removed, is so abstract. What do we even get from foreign ministry? We are going to change that perception. Clear KPIs, you must bring something home. If within 1 year we are not seeing benefits, you will be reshuffled.
Na nechuno so sanso ka say no chem na Ghana fo agbona about there way to ma aboa Emma we save sika beye abrochi skano billions of dollars na ne na ye amanfo bi wo hye sumas bi wo ye nzeme bi wa den won we zana wa pon tam ena ona mo ndo me de miska ne bay enti Ghana fo agbona about the point or den panyfo so no wo gbona about.
All the interceptions, the parliamentary oversight, the due diligence I have carried out as MP and ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee has been in the national interest. Indeed, many Ghanaians have celebrated me for saving this country's billions of dollars, not cedis, dollars. I can go through a long list of over 100 exposés which have saved this country billions of dollars. And I will have thought that my colleague will be commending me for saving this country billions of dollars. On the specific matters you raise, Oslo Chancery purchase. Again, I should be commended that I saved this country $12.2 million. Remember that you had appeared before us that you were going to purchase that chancery. You brought.
Well, the Miss Maran Subio na Yera Oya Okujato Ablakwa Ena Ebony and Sasia Wodons and some open Mangana ha Oya on minor and Sasia man for Binima fa where we are now then and Sembi Kusia Kofanum. Yera Samuel Okujato Ablakwa and Okasan watch him them. Allegations I would be bay. Eno chem de watch him there and compoach us say Mompacho and we end up a chow. o send baby minim the state land ahodo another oman Ghana nsas ne bebre amanfo aton onfa won adansi da ahodo wo interchopa ade onpa bi.
A search at the Lands Commission will show that the land in question is the property of administrators of the estate of Justice, the late Justice Johnson Sribo, a former Justice of the Supreme Court and Chairman of the Electoral Commission, who acquired the land as far back as 1969, specifically on 1st June 1969. And indeed, Mr. Chairman, at the time, the president's children were not even born. The subject matter land was acquired by the states, Mr. Chairman, as far back as 1869. And
well, your quick answer.
Well, thank you very much for the question. The Honorable Abu Jinapo will recall that when I put out that article, I supported the article with evidence from the Lands Commission. I attached an official search that I had conducted on those two lands. Indeed, those are lands that you have in Somnam and then the lot boutique, a fashion boutique. And I sought to inquire from the Lands Commission the status, the ownership of the land. And the Lands Commission responded in that official search, which I published. And Ghanaians can go on my social media handles. You see the official search results, where the Lands Commission, in their response, indicated that all those lands are government lands. So in my article, I asked a question. Is this another state capture? Is President Akufo-Addo allocating state lands to his daughters? It was a question based on empirical evidence, what the Lands Commission had told me in writing as official search results when I put in that official search. So there is really no need to apologize on this matter. We need to probably be discussing reforming the Lands Commission. You were Lands Minister. If you think that the Lands Commission misled me, you need to join us with ideas on how to reform the Lands Commission, get their data to be more accurate, so that when we conduct official search, what they tell us, the reports that they give us, their search certificates, are not misleading. Because all of the facts you put out, I don't know them. In 1979, I wasn't born.
Thank you.
So the Lands Commission told me they are government lands, and I have the documents here.
Thank you.
To confirm
Thank you
that. So
very much. Thank you very
it's not
much.
my fault.
Any follow-up on the land acquisition?
Yewra kujato ablakwa ena no so etna no din samodo tugwa wo abadwokufu won enyim wo nsam ebiende wo bisan yemfa yenwantre ensam fufurumum meso de na one father me info yin to domam o man panyin mahama ena prempen wapa oye owura Johnson esiama de ono ena ombram ye governor Pempen Obabe, the governor of Bank of Ghana, ono eno bebedi enyim say ya menoka si oyo nomination nature day oyo power no enti wonsi didua enti ono nso bokokupu emu mpanyinfu enim na watotona no ansana wotum wodi de medibion abasha nansa na Dr. Esiama nomination enamdo onam oyo governor edema Bank of Ghana Dr. Ernest Addison says ya no oboko ni leave na oko leave so your retirement leave no wo connect the papa no 60 years we nya na sa enti ya me ya do march bosom na da otodo eduasa kwor na national dwumedi boko na wieye ewo ne edwuma orye ne mu ezesomo man Ghana enti onnonom do oman panyin mahama apawo yewura Johnson esiama de ombamba ya amado enfama oman Ghana sika krabia owo aha Yanko and some from na middle race of from Yera Alexander Afanyon Makin and they are some chofun shim and all can send in an some more cano na etema what can send me etia yero kujato ablakwa and on any kenny and on the men some do my son by yen sembia or quatrinumantry a woman Ghana embrace bedumufi afedi yera Alexander afanyo makin or the achopa at the aquama ovra okujato ablakwa one no kenny.
Thank you very much. It's now the turn of Minority Leader.
Make some preliminary observation, largely on my press conference, and refer to how you felt about it and how your wife felt about it. I think Chairman largely addressed the issue in another way, which was acceptable to me, because we're all having our own challenges that we couldn't have communicated. But I think the effect of my political statement was to the effect that our side had no proper understanding of yesterday's arrangement. However, let me unconditionally apologize to your wife for how my press statement conference came about. I mean, how she felt about it. I mean, I feel bad if somebody said something about my own wife, and it's fair. All right, these are not ego matters. So I'm sorry to your dear wife, and how my press conference was carried, how you felt. I also say sorry to you. I would have utmost respect for you. I will be the last person to run you down. Okay? So I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to your wife one more time. Is that okay?
Yeah, very okay, and we are grateful. Thank you very much.
Eti onenye netede enanso waje echopa no atum yenko wie ewo chameyin awo man Ghana embreche bedwomufie ne asone ye na ne ina enye dem yawo embreche bedwomufu bia emprempanya menuka sedi oyada wa suspend one na watche pol ebien na cheda ho no za okrodo ewo man Ghana embreche bedwomufie no enwon so wa suspend one kra mese de woma yenhwe mfonyin no nti wa suspend dem nkrofo anani nkofui wa suspend oya yewra Frank Anodompre okamubi chamehin owo man Ghana beshop dwomfie wa suspending the mara so na oya Roxon damafiapo ono so wa man suspension okofie na watwe pol ebien the mara so na oya empayinfo waka ho biom Shaib no so okofie na owura Tampuli no so was suspending into the monk of fanani and in prempre menuka say chame no man Ghana mbreshe bedwomufie no was suspend one day za okwa do man Ghana mbreshe bedwomufie end the day when to men do dwuma bia wotsan wa ye hwan panyine de etifie na se worry nanka wobu nanka wefa atwum tan kwasoro basa wode waka ho enti yewra oye minority chief rape Roxon Nelson eka ho majority chief whip also ka ho Frank Anodompre Alhassan Suleiman Tampuli ena Jerry Ahmed Hamed Shaib no so eka ho bi enti dem nkofui ena woso nkofie na wotwe bien school time agakabu no ye bi dopa enta ha na ye de kase bono mezi ebesi amo asedan kwama Big Family Multimedia Institute BFM Store Trustees Network Group and a Center for Trade and one of make you doma mezen sami mezabadano ende enwibri asani bison kwama akosia adepa and a abena papa bi we now we need to